Thanks for staying with us. So in 2018, the Senate asked the Central Bank of Nigeria to direct banks in the country to increase maximum amount customers can withdraw from automated teller machines from 10,000 to 40,000 per transaction. However, the situation has gone from bad to worse. Instead of the increment, it has mostly gone from 20,000 to 10,000 and stayed there. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Many people have complained that when you go to the ATM, you can't take out more than 10,000 naira
at once.
Now, you can call us on 081-270-53687 and 091-390-76948, or tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view to share your thoughts on this. Many customers have complained, not just about how much you can even withdraw, the charges, the transfer charges for corporate accounts to personal accounts. These are conversations we'd like to hear, and we'll be bringing in our guests at some point to shed some light on this. But first, let me hear your thoughts on this. Let me start with you, Nina.
Yeah, so, you know, when I used to go to the ATM, after COVID, I just stopped. I have people I send to just get me the cash if I need cash. But most times it's cashless. You just carry your card and you're able to make payments. But I know that if you are withdrawing money from, you are using the card of that particular bank. For instance, if you're withdrawing from like a First Bank with the First Bank ATM, for instance, you can withdraw because I have other cards as well, and I go to other banks and I'm not able to withdraw more than 20,000 naira. And for each withdrawal, you are charged per that withdrawal. Right. So I think what now happened is, because they wanted you to pay more charges, so if you go to the ATM and probably want to get out 50,000 naira, you have to slot in your card five times, and you pay those charges. If it's 65 naira, you pay 65 naira 5 times. No. So
for 3 transaction on one card, paying 65 naira.
Okay,
that was 3.
You have to pay for the next one. So I think it was a way of the banks, you know, extorting more money from the customers, and I think they should look into it. And now we do not have a lot of people complain about, you know, all those charges. They seem very small. It's not 65 naira. You will not feel it till you don't have money in that account, and you realize that you can't even use what you have. So it's something we need to look into.
Let me share. It was that COVID lockdown time. You know, I wanted to avoid ATMs. A lot of us wanted to avoid ATM, but that was when they were now executing this thing the most. So you'll be at an ATM and you're withdrawing, and the security will say, "Madam, it's 10,000 limit." You're calling them and say, "I've entered this amount." You knew, because at that time, before then, it was 40,000 any ATM
of the same bank.
Yes, and the CBN had regulated. So nobody notified us of the limit.
Of the change.
He was there's one at Atablia. They let them just leave the banks and their names, and it was 15,000 the first time. The next time I calculated, okay, you want to do 60, but let me just do it 4 times and I'll get to 60. And I went there and it was 10,000. So when I did the math and I saw the way the queue was, I said, these people are making making money. So resort to the POS that I left at home and pay maybe at once for the charges and come and queue up here. But then they will still charge the cards. The CBN failed woefully as a regulator on this, because not only that, in 2020 they had issued a 24-hour resolution time for failed transactions. You go still carry your receipts, go queue for bank. It's annoying.
After 7 days.
I think that was where I was going to, that this is failure of regulation, this is failure of system, and this is encouraging capitalism in a way that you are seeing. We saw the numbers. The companies that are needing encouragement, the businesses that are needing encouragement don't get it, and then the big banks are declaring profit year on year to the detriment of the average Nigerian. So the policy is supposed to ease Nigerians getting access to cash. You declared cashless policy, but we know that we still have like the unbanked people who we need to trade cash with. So when we go to the bank to collect and you are unable to collect 40,000 naira at once, it means that you're collecting 10,000 naira. When this policy came on board, we used to collect 20,000 naira. The ATM brought 20,000 naira as the maximum, and then they said let's increase it from 20,000 naira to 40,000 naira, and that policy never took place. So from regulators, they should be made to pay. There should be compensation to all of us that are bank with banks that have been that have been cheated like this, because it is obvious cheating and profiteering. And we must call it what it is, because when you have an ATM that is supposed to allow you withdraw 100,000 naira and you want to do it and you're doing it at 10,000 naira installments, it is a wastage of your time and also charges.
Another thing we also observe, I mean, let me let you finish.
No, there are other costs of having an account with banks. So we know they have other charges. I received SMS charges this morning of almost 300 naira.
What's happening?
For just this month. I can't ask. I mean, who ask you people to greet me happy birthday in the first place? You know,
you greet me happy birthday,
I pay for it. So,
okay, so there are other
charges that they make.
I want our callers to come in here, because this morning I want to also get a guest, but we'll probably be bringing a guest some other time to discuss. But we'd like to hear Nigerians' views on this first. What are your experiences? What have you gone through? There are issues, number one, that Nigerians have complained about, that the mutilated money that comes out from the dispenser is horrible. It's terrible. Secondly, on holidays, about to have Easter very soon now. Holidays, the ATMs go dry almost immediately. After the first day, you don't have access. So they don't have proper systems to ensure that they reload these ATMs. So these are some of the issues Nigerians are complaining about. But
you're charging me for services. You're charging me for services, and you're not delivering the services, and I still get charged. So every time I go to the ATM, I should have money there. The environment should be conducive. Why must we stand on a long queue because you don't want inside your bank crowded? Like, there are basic amenities that you're supposed to provide as a bank, as in terms of facility for your clients. You don't provide it, and then you're charging me.
I even want to say that I think they should be honest with us, especially the CBN, because most of these charges and all these transactions do not go unnoticed by the CBN. They take permission from the CBN before they are able to do all of this. So don't say you don't know, or you've given a directive and they are not following it. Tell us the truth. What is the state of things? What are we paying for? When we hear maintenance for your your card maintenance, I beg that they wash the card. I don't understand. You hear maintenance for your bank. Are we paying for the... So break it down. Let us know what we're paying for. Is there a platform that we're subscribing to be able to use the ATM? When we have all of this knowledge, we will know how to complain less.
Also, we're going to go on a quick break, because I'm even also worried that after the Senator Ashafa had sponsored this bill, 3 years down the line, the banks have not been able to implement it, because it was very specific on the bill to ensure that we are able to withdraw more than 10,000, at least 20,000 minimum, and maximum of 40,000 naira for withdrawal. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'd like to hear your views on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this issue of overcharged ATM machines and other charges that Nigerians have to face. And today I remember a conversation by Pastor Samadeyemi, who was saying that sane societies look for ways to solve problems and make things easier for the citizens. And that's one of the reasons why ATM was constructed, to make things easier. Other countries, people even go as far as deposit money through the ATM machines, just to reduce congestion in the banking halls. But now, in our own society, it seems almost counterproductive, because there are still lines outside, because things are not as smooth and easy as we expect them to be. So the question, therefore, is, where is the Minister of Finance in all this? Where is the CBN governor in all of this? Where are the lawmakers who have also tried to, they have oversight functions, and they've tried to make an effort, yet nothing is being done and nobody's looking at it?
Let me try and make sense of what I think the problem is. So the banks have different departments that have to work, but we've all outsourced most of our departments to contract staff. The person that is working that is badly motivated will, of course, let something fail. So we know somebody still needs to fill the ATM with cash. And that person has to work 24 hours out of time, called on short notice to resolve issues and all of that. The person, you know, no pay and way. He's on contract. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. One time I stood at an ATM along Badagry Expressway, this particular bank, and let me not mention, and I looked at the woman that had to come that Saturday evening to come and resolve, and she just didn't look well. I was saying, how much would they be paying this person that the person will be feeling bad?
It could be something else wrong with
no, let's just assume. I mean, no, I wanted to think. But, you know, and she was coming, why are you people calling me? Why are you people calling me? What is it? How much are you paying me? Everybody's going to Canada now. All of us will eventually go to Canada.
Let me take this call from Mauritius. Good morning. Are you there? Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
My name is Steve, and I'm calling from Mauritius.
Welcome to the show.
This is my first time calling. Thank you very much. I could hear you very faintly, Moraya. I can't hear you clearly. I think I can hear only NIMA. Hello?
Are you following the show? Are you following our topic today?
Yes, I'm following you guys on the show, but my TV set is switched off so that I can hear you directly from the phone.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah. Okay. Very quickly. It is quite sad that a country like Nigeria will still be discussing about this. I mean, in all the developing countries, once even the president hears Senate, he will be afraid. But for banks to put their hands on their chest and shun the Senate on what resolution has been given, it is quite sad and unfortunate. As we speak, as a Nigerian, I'm here in Mauritius. Our passport has been expired for quite a few months now, and there has been no delegation from the immigration to come and renew this passport. We've been suffering, but we suffered to get out of the country. I came here for schooling. After schooling, I got a job. I'm working here in Mauritius. But the problem is my documents have expired. Everything about Nigeria is so stressful. I don't really know. Get it?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Peace, for Mauritius.
Okay. Mr. Adebayo says Nigerian government clamoring for a cashless policy, yet they are exploiting the citizens for following their policy. So many hidden charges. The bank MD is growing fatter while customers are being shredded into pieces. It's only in Nigeria that you get charged for internet banking. 15 naira per every transfer. It's ridiculous.
Abe John says banks charge you for transferring and charge the person you transferred when withdrawing. They intentionally wait hours before refilling the ATM cash. How can a bank declare billions in COVID time? Strange. One of the banks is celebrated for that now. Oluwafe Ishayo says, I was still ranting to my roommate on how I was debited 180 naira for SMS charges. And I am a student too. I don't know the money I received this month that made them deduct that kind of amount. I don't want their SMS again. They should hold it. Ashikpa James says, we suspect that the audacity of banks in flouting orders seems to stem from the fact that those issuing such orders have been compromised.
Let me take Ikechuku from Enugu. Ikechuku, are you there? Ikechuku from Enugu, are you there?
Hello?
Good morning, you are live.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes, though I cannot hear you, but I can follow you.
Okay, I can hear you very clearly. Go ahead, please.
The bank charges. What I want to say is that the wickedness in Nigeria has been extended to the banking sector. This is sheer wickedness. Just because they want to make money, they will not allow you to withdraw more than 10,000 naira. Because they know that once you withdraw from the third withdrawal with that ATM in another bank, every other withdrawal will be charged 65,000 naira. Sorry, 65 naira. So that is what the banks are out to make money from the people. This is a country that anything goes in Nigeria. It's like we don't have a government. The government to make the government to give a directive. Nobody will listen to it. It's not only in the banking sector. Look at you just mentioned about the petrol tanker drivers want to go on a strike. This country, everybody is taking us for a ride. And there is this conspiracy of silence, both from the electorate, the populace, and everybody. People just keep quiet. They want to direct their anger. They say, answer. Nobody wants to direct your anger to other places, other sectors. They are taking us for a ride in this country.
Thank you very much, Ikechuku. So, as I said, this morning we're just sharing Nigerians' experience concerning, and hopefully at some time very soon we'll bring in an expert from the financial sector to come and shed light on why these things are as they are, so that people can have a better understanding. We're going to wrap up on this. Let's take a few more tweets.
Okay. He says, during the Christmas, we call the bank, set most of their ATM points to dispense only 3,000 naira per transaction. Those dispensing 10K and 5K would have very long queues, so you are forced to use the one of 3,000 naira if you want to live there. These banks are shameless. I didn't want to mention the bank, but we have another celebration coming up, the Easter celebrations. Can we please not put our people through hardship? You know, and some of these banks, sadly, I want to go back to their workers' welfare. There was a joke at an ATM. this banker just didn't look like a bank. You know, in the earlier days, even girls wanted to marry bankers.
They know.
Now, you better think twice. We were queuing at an ATM and 2 guys were joking. I look at this one. I had concluded the guys were Yahoo guys, but they might not be. But they saw the way he looked. Banks should make sure that their workers have housing.
Banks have found ways to cut the costs by using contractors.
They are declaring large profits, and their workers are badly motivated. Yes. It's wrong.
You go to the bank and you see them, your cashiers don't look like the bankers that you would want to see in the bank. And that's because they are not actually paid as the way bankers should be paid.
I'm answering you now, just to cut me ATM. What is I'm answering you, I'm coming now.
So we started this conversation on ATM. Now you moved it to customer service. But we'll talk about it. We have to run up on for you. Let me let you final comments.
For a bit. So I do not understand how banks will not work directly with service providers, that's network service providers, to give them proper network. So anytime you go to the ATM, there's no network here, there's no network there. So with their caliber, if it's ordinary individuals, we can say maybe you did not fill your data, you did not put data in your phone. But their banks, they should have a standard of network, of service, so that every time their customers come, you can access, you can drive through like 4 banks, no network, no network, no. What's happening now? What did they happen?
All right, we have to run up on this. Unfortunately, that's all we can take. But as I said, we just lamented this morning. We need to bring in experts at some point to help us shed light on this. Well, that's all we can take on this segment. I think we've made our thoughts clear on this. Let's go on a break. When we come back, move on to another really important hot topic that caught our attention over the weekend. Stay with us. We'll be right back.